Hello everyone, it's Asfan here, and just going to show you very briefly a video on what we are aiming to do when it comes to earthquake safety in the community. So just going to very briefly introduce myself. My name is Asfan. I am the director of the Disaster Preparedness and Response Team. We are a voluntary community-based team working primarily in disaster preparedness in Pakistan. So after Nepal, I realized that, earthquake safety is very important. We have always known this, to be honest, but there's very little work being done, and the work that's being done is very piecemeal. Considering the population of Pakistan, a lot of people don't pay much importance to the subject of earthquake safety. So that is why we've partnered up with Stanford University in America, and we have access to this wonderful software that's known as QCN Live. And today's video is going to be primarily based around educating our members on how they can help volunteer for this amazing project. So earthquake safety is the responsibility of everyone that is exposed to an earthquake, from the government to the citizens of the community. All right? Now, with this software and the tools that we have available, we will allow individuals to join together and improve earthquake monitoring and earthquake awareness around Pakistan. Okay, now this is a global project, but we are focusing on Pakistan and a Pakistani audience. So in front of you, you can see a globe. It's spinning around, and you've got all these little multicolored red and yellow dots. I'll get into what those mean in a minute, but very briefly, this software is developed by Stanford University Quake Catcher Network that's aiming to develop the world's largest strong motion seismic network that will be run entirely by volunteers. It's a very noble goal, okay? And I'll tell you why that's important for Pakistan in a minute. But first of all, how does it actually work? How can you help? Well, there's three ways you can help. The first and most simplest way is to actually download this bit of software called BOINC. It's made by Stanford University. I'll just zoom in so you can see it. You can download it from their website, or you can email me and I can give you a link. Now, this software is completely free to download. It's virus free. Once you've installed it onto a desktop computer that's connected to the internet, you should be able to connect your computer to Stanford's and be able to, when your computer is idle, your processing power will be used to crunch numbers, crunch data, analyze the data coming through. Okay, it's a very important job because you must understand, as powerful as Stanford's supercomputer is, it can't analyze all that data on its own. So imagine having all these mini computers, all these desktop computers around the world, lending their processing power to analyze this data. Okay, and that's an amazing concept. So that's what this is about. So that's the first bit of software. You can download that and just run that. When you're not using your computer, leave your computer on idle. As long as it's connected to a simple broadband connection, nothing too big. Even 512K is enough for this kind of job. And that's about it, basically. But if you want to go deeper, you download this bit of software. The next bit that is very good, especially if you've got kids, or if you're in a school, you're a school teacher, or you'd like to educate children about earthquake safety, you can download QCN Live. Now this is this software here, QCN Live, and this allows you to view in almost real time all the recorded earthquakes that have been sent through by USGS and have been measured by Stanford. And you can see them represented by these red dots here. Each red dot corresponds to an earthquake that's been recorded, and you get all this lovely information about the earthquake, the magnitude, the length, and the depth, and the time, etc. is recorded here. Funnily enough, this is the same software you will use if you've got a sensor attached. You can actually see ground vibrations live as well. But because at the moment I don't have a sensor attached, when I click on that screen, you will see just a flat line there. Okay? Now, this is very good for schools. There's lesson plans to go with this. So if you're a teacher and you're scratching your head and you're thinking, how am I going to teach kids when I don't even know what that means? Don't worry. We've got that covered. There are lesson plans. If you're interested in implementing this in your house as a parent, or in your school or community as a teacher or as a community educator, just message me through Facebook, through email, or even by Twitter, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll show you how it's done. Now, so I've shown you the two methods, one of which is downloading the Boeing software. The second one is downloading QCN Live and teaching kids or yourself or your community about earthquakes. Okay, now the third bit, which is very important, is actually why this is important for Pakistan. Now, I mentioned that the goal of QCN is to develop the world's largest strong motion seismic network. Now, the problem is that in Pakistan, there are no sensors. Now, considering we're an earthquake-prone country, we should have plenty of sensors. But you can see that we've got 2 in India, we've got 2 in Nepal. So basically what the laptop represents is there's 2 types of sensors. If your laptop is an IBM ThinkPad or a Lenovo, it already, or even a MacBook, it has a built-in what they call G sensor. So you should already be able to connect it to the software and it'll act as a seismic sensor. If you don't, however, if you just have a normal desktop or a normal laptop, you can get one of these USB sensors, which cost money, but I will donate those. Okay, you get these USB sensors, plug them into a desktop computer, connect the desktop computer to the internet. Every time there's a strong ground movement, it will be measured, it'll send the trigger to the server in America. Okay, and you can see there's 2 there, there's 2 there, but there's none in Pakistan. Okay, which is a shame. It's a crying shame because we are very vulnerable to earthquakes. Okay, about as vulnerable as we are to floods. Now, let's go back here. So we've got the software here, it's free. Okay, now the next bit that you would need to bridge that gap, we've got a massive gap there, as you can see, is this little thing here. This little bad boy is what we call a MEMS accelerometer. Okay, it measures strong ground vibrations. Okay, it's made in America, and it's made by ONAVI. There's different companies that make it. The sensors we have belong to ONAVI. They cost between $50 to $100. We have 7 available to us, which we can donate to schools or volunteers. So you can be a school or a volunteer, but the key caveat here is if you want one of these, you have to agree to sign a volunteer charter, which is that you will make sure that the sensor is maintained and is connected to a computer that is connected to the internet as much as possible. We know that in Pakistan, you know, the broadband is unreliable and you always have load shedding, so we understand that. But obviously we want the equipment to be maintained because at the end of the day, I'm funding this project from my own pocket, and I'm not made of money, simply put. Anyway, so this little baby here, this software here, and then this, you can actually make a real difference to earthquake safety in Pakistan. Coupled with our lesson plans and our community education program, which will start to kick off in July, we hope to make a real difference to community safety in Pakistan. And this is just the start. This is just the start of it. So if you are interested, if this intrigues you in the least, get in touch through Facebook, through email, or by Twitter. Thank you.